All right, so the worst thing I saw this weekend, sports-wise, really kind of came from the Alabama Auburn game, the Iron Bowl, and it's crazy. The reason why I'm going to show this really was for one play, but there was like 3 plays back to back that were like almost could have been the worst thing I saw this weekend. And I might start this segment kind of going because there's always something like every weekend, like the worst thing I saw. But I'm just going to play 3 plays here. This is crazy ending to the game. And it was just kind of a ridiculous, this was when they just got down to the goal line area and you see this snap, the quarterback, they're going to replay it here. Quarterback missed it as, the center basically just snapped it early. The quarterback never saw it. It goes back for about a 20-yard loss, This one is nuts. He scrambles around, Jalen Milroe doing his best to Michael Vick impersonation, runs past the line of scrimmage. Can't do that. Once you run past the line of scrimmage, you have to continue to advance. And he tried to go back behind the line of scrimmage. On the field, you don't really exactly know where that line is, but he knew he was close, obviously, because he tried to go back, as obviously as you see here. But that is not then the play. So this play is going to wind up being the play that is the worst thing I saw this weekend. Alabama almost had this with 2 back-to-back plays, but Auburn on this last play completely took it for this week. And I want to kind of real quick give you the recap. Okay, we got 4th and goal. They're at the 31. This is a really unheard of situation. Basically, like never happens. And I believe there was a timeout called just before this play. So obviously there's, the ability to, relay or convey to the players of what you're trying to accomplish here, what we want to do. And this play design was awful. When I saw this, when I was watching this live, I was flipping my lid because of what I see here. There was 3 players at the line of scrimmage. 3. That's it. Okay. And a lot of what the Auburn defense had been doing up to this point is rushing the defensive ends, this player and this player, off the tackles. And then they'd been using QB spy here in the middle so that Jalen Milroe doesn't, run outside the pocket or whatever. So here's the situation. You're up 4th and goal from the 31. The one thing you do not want to have happen here, the one thing, you do not want the ball going to the end zone. So you do not want Alabama throwing the ball to the end zone. That's the only thing you don't want. That's it. He can run, the quarterback, him scrambling, a 10-yard pass, fine. All that's fine. You don't want the ball being thrown to the end zone. So when I saw this, I was like, what are they doing? What? Like, they need to send pressure. Send 4. And honestly, if I was to tell you how I would have played this play, 4 down linemen right here in the middle of the field, and basically on this half of the offensive line. And the reason why is so that you can send the upfield pressure, and force Jalen Milroe, the quarterback, to only use that half of the field. So then, as Jalen Milroe then would set up to throw the ball, he would basically be secluded to half of the field where he would probably feel comfortable throwing the ball into the end zone, or maybe even a third of the field as he gets pushed towards the sideline. But as we play this, what you see happen is they only send 2. They send what they had been sending for much of, really, I guess, the 4th quarter and even that last drive, the 2 defensive ends and the quarterback spy. Like I said, send 4 and try to force them one way or the other. That's really what you want to do. But since the ball was pretty close to the hash marker on the far side of the field from the camera, you'd want to line up your 4 guys on the near side to send him one way so that it really secludes like half of that field. That allows your defenders in the back end, in the end zone, to really only have to cover a much smaller part of the end zone. Because it's a lot harder to turn and throw your body and throw the ball all the way across the field. So as you kind of look at this play here, he has all day. He's throwing the ball at 37 seconds. When did the ball hike? I'm not going to replay it here, but the ball was hiked at 43 seconds. Yeah, 43 seconds. 6 seconds to stand back there. And if you're not totally familiar with football, that's an eternity. 3 seconds, 4 seconds, that's a long time. 6 seconds is way too long. The reason why this is an issue, he's getting no pressure. He's able to see the defense down the field into the end zone, see the coverage, and figure out where the opportunity is to throw the ball. And this is where he throws the ball to one-on-one coverage to his wide receiver in the back corner of the end zone against one defensive back. You see all the Auburn players out here in the middle, but there's just one here. Great throw by Jalen Milroe. I mean, completely boneheaded play, right? The play before where he went across the line of scrimmage and then tries to come back, tries to throw after crossing the line of scrimmage. But what defense are we running here? Like, how are you not pressuring him? You gave him way too much time to understand the situation of the defense in the end zone. So it was really just a completely boneheaded play from the get-go, not understanding the situation. I don't know who the D coordinator is for Auburn. I didn't really care to look it up because you don't want to know his name anyways. But, yeah, I mean, this shouldn't have been the play that was designed here. You should have started right here at the QB spy. Number 1, defensive end, probably number 3, probably a guy in between these two, and then a guy out here. And you want to send these guys on the outside upfield around the edge. You want to force him to go to one side or the other, because allowing him to just sit in the middle of the field, the entire end zone is available for him to throw to. And with no pressure being applied to him, he's able to now see just what the best spot is to throw the ball. So this is just a very poor play design. I'm sure other people have hit on this, but yeah, I mean, you just got to understand the situation. The situation is we don't want the ball to the end zone. So how do you prevent that? Well, you just want to force him into a very horrible throwing stance, not just one where he's just standing there on 2 feet. But then if he runs past the line of scrimmage because you apply pressure to where he feels like he gets forced around the end and he runs past the line of scrimmage, that is the exact thing you want, because he ain't going to run 31 yards to the end zone to score a touchdown. So this is the dumbest thing I saw this weekend.